Live here in the beautiful beaches of Jacksonville, Florida, we have Week 7 SFL action from the King's Lair. The Jacksonville Kings welcome the Tulsa Desperados into town. Andy Hamilton, along with Tyler Falk, Shan Varner, and Declan O'Rourke are on stats for us, and we have a battle between two and 4 teams ahead of us. Tyler, break this one down for us.
Hey Andy, great to be here in Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see 2 teams looking for a win to make their claim as maybe outsiders for the playoff front. And I'm really looking forward to see what Jacksonville can do, especially coming off the back of 2 straight wins. And the funny thing about those 2 straight wins here, Andy, are the 2 teams, Carolina and St. Louis, are the same teams that Tulsa has played. And we can take a look at them real quick. As Jacksonville's beaten those 2 teams, Tulsa has lost to St. Louis while they've beaten Carolina. It's a completely different St. Louis team from the team they faced in Week 1. But it's a very, very strong showing for Jacksonville. I'm looking forward to it. Player to watch is definitely the return of Marcus Dunn, who has started to turn the corner a little bit. Has been a little bit iffy in the interception category, but last week threw 4 touchdown passes. We'll see if he continues it today.
Would certainly like to do so against a Tulsa defense that is middle of the road in terms of points per game. Both defense and offenses are not necessarily the best in the league, but what that creates for us, Tyler, is quite the matchup. Both defenses give up around 26 points per game. Jacksonville's offense puts up around 25. Tulsa's puts up around 18, but that doesn't mean that is exactly what they're going to get. Ball is on the tee. Jacksonville wearing purple today, and Tulsa wearing white uniforms with teal pants will receive to start this one. Ball is away, and we are underway in Week 7. Return here from Gabriel Manning will come out all the way to the 28-yard line, and that is where the offense for Tulsa will set up. Let's take you through the offensive star players. JQ, the quarterback, 2nd season in the league. Sanzo Robinson in his 7th season. Stephen McMichaels is the fullback. Corey Jones, DJ Hume, and Gabriel Manning, the receivers, along with Jason France, the tight end. JT Delaney does the kicking for this Desperados team. They will start in a split twins look against a 4-3 out of Jacksonville's defense. Q moves in the pocket, floats, tipped up and incomplete, deflected well by Yakov Zolotov.
Yeah, the first-year man from Albuquerque picked in the 3rd round in this most recent draft. That was a pretty dangerous throw from the sophomore quarterback Q. Almost looked like it was almost directly at Zolotov instead of an intended wide receiver.
Yeah, got to be careful there if you're JQ. Can't give the ball away early, especially don't want to do so on your opening drive. That would not be the best way to start the football game out. 2nd and 10 now for Tulsa. Receivers split out. They will give offside right to Sanzo Robinson with a lane. Robinson, first down and more, out to the 41-yard line.
My biggest question for Tulsa coming into today here, Andy, was are they going to give JQ enough run support? I haven't seen enough of Sanzo Robinson. It's good to see him getting going early here with a nice 12-yard scamper.
Yeah, Robinson trying to hurt this Jacksonville defense, get some ground game going to complement the Tulsa aerial attack. Hugh looking to throw it again. Sidearm throw is deflected. Nice job there. 2nd play in a row. We're calling the name of Greg Gaines, and let's run through the rest of this Jacksonville defense. Mike All, Tyquan Hale are the defensive ends. Hunter Norwood and Marcus Sledge, the defensive linemen. John Martin, Yakov Zolotov are the linebackers. Connor Darien, Bernard Gooden are the cornerbacks. Greg Gaines and Succo Lamano are the safeties. And it's Gaines, the journeyman of the SFL, 5th season in the league, first here in Jacksonville, who has made 2 plays in a row. Now 2nd and 10 for Q, and that out route is caught by Manning for a couple.
That's a nice little out route as the coverage backed off. Q just took the safe throw there to Gabriel Manning and picked up a good set of 4, which makes this 3rd down a whole lot more manageable, Andy.
Yeah, and for Q, that's exactly what you want, is the ability to have a manageable 3rd down situation and really put the offense in a good spot. 2 backs in the backfield. That's McMichaels and Robinson. McMichaels to the left, Robinson to the near side. And here is Q looking to throw. Fires across the middle. Maybe some interference there. Corey Jones was the intended target, and it's deflected incomplete.
I think JQ maybe trusts his arm strength a little bit too much, as 3 passes on that drive were at or very close to being either picked off or, as we saw for 3 of those passes, batted away to the ground.
And that sets them up to punt it away on their opening drive, shut down after trying to go down the field. They can't get into any type of range to score, and so Jacksonville's defense gets an early stop and sets up their offensive unit. Let's take you through the offense for the Jacksonville Kings playing at home today. Marcus Dunhill, the first season with this team, the former SFL championship, won in season 14 with Atlanta, is the quarterback. Jared Willis, the halfback in his 7th season, along with his brother Grayson Willis. Kingston Ellingston and Shea Carroll are the receivers. Jack Wall and Talon Steele, the tight ends. Brian French, Robert Crone, Alden, and Olivia Bleeker make up the offensive line. First throw there to Wall is good for 8, and that is the offensive unit.
Nice little one-handed behind-the-back catch by Jack Wall. Tight ends can make big plays that we've seen throughout this SFL season and beyond. And Wall makes a nice play, sets up second and short.
Now Wall moving into that tight end 1 spot this season was known in the past for being, a tight end 2, but moving up and trying to make some plays. Here is Dunhill, and he's going to get buried. Tulsa brings the heat. They get to him and force the sack. It's Sir McHenry, the defensive tackle, who makes the play.
And give credit to that coverage out there for the Tulsa Desperados defense. That's a good coverage sack, as Marcus Dunhill just held on the football for a little bit too long during that quick passing play.
Here's 3rd and 5. Dunhill floats backside, deflected, incomplete. Not going to be letting that happen. Philadelphia Collins was in the area.
Tried to go back to the Jack Wall well, and it didn't work out too well, as defense made a great play, sets up 4th and down, and then a quick 3 and out for the Tulsa Desperados defense, gets their offense back on the field.
2 punts to open this game. Now Jacksonville will bring out Howard McCoy to send it away, and Tulsa's defense gets off the field in a hurry as well. So much so, couldn't even introduce you to him. We will do so shortly. Snap back, McCoy will kick this one away, and Manning will call for the fair catch at the 38. And Tyler, we've seen one drive from both offenses. So far, defense has come into play.
Yeah, I'm really liking this old school, hard-nosed, tough football, especially since the last game that you were on, Andy, and I was doing stats for, was kind of more of an air raid show, and it got, pretty ugly in terms of, just some sloppy football. 11 total interceptions in that game in Baltimore.
Here is the first down run, shut down, only a single yard that they're going to give McMichaels.
And you're going to get some of those, especially with this front 7 of Jacksonville's defense. John Martin comes up from his linebacker spot. Another one of the rookies on the Jacksonville defense. And if I'm Tulsa, yes, you're going to have some of those runs where they just go absolutely nowhere, but you have to get Robinson more touches.
2nd and 9 out of the gun here. Robinson flanked to the right of JQ. JQ, 6'5", 225, fires outside, and Manning makes the grab and will make it 3rd and more manageable.
And that's a play we saw earlier on their first drive. A nice little out route to Gabriel Manning. This time the coverage played up a little bit closer to the line than earlier, which help corral Manning into the out-of-bounds marker. 3rd and 5. I would almost consider maybe running a draw here. Doesn't look like it. Might see a crossing route over the middle. There's absolutely nothing doing. Try to find the backup receiver, the 4-string receiver, Radrick Davis there on that passing play. And for some reason, just doinked off his head. It was a quick passing play there, Andy, but didn't appear that he was ready for it. And it looks like we may have lost Andy Hamilton for the moment, so I'll take over for just a little bit as Ismail Farouk gets this punt away, and it'll be a fair catch called for by the return man of Jacksonville, that being number 82, Kingston Ellington, the second-year man, first year out of DC. And now we'll see Jacksonville retake the field. Marcus Dunhill looking to put together a better drive, as the last time they were out there, they went 3 and out. Nice quick pass over the middle. That's caught by Jack Wall. He's been the only receiver in contention today here, Andy, as it sounds like we got you back, as Wall makes a nice catch, picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, sorry about that. Should be back in and ready to go here. That throw good to Wall, and now with Jacksonville with the football back, Dunhill firing on all cylinders. Second and 3 from the 30-yard line, 2 receivers out. Dunhill stands the pocket, throws, and that is picked off. Intercepted back the other way for Tulsa. Huge play there, and that will turn the tide for the Desperados.
This team is middle of the road in a whole bunch of categories, but if you can coach the tip drill, you'll get a couple of these interceptions, as Jorge Torres comes up, second year in the league, gets the nice tip, takes it in, and Tulsa is set up in prime field position.
First and 10 at the 27, 7:09 here to go in the first, and 2 receivers split out. Shotgun look here for JQ. Moves up in the pocket, floats to the end zone, and it's deflected, incomplete. Jacksonville wasn't going to let that one happen. Nice play there on the outside by Darian.
Connor Darian leads the team with 4 interceptions, as Q nearly gave the football right back to Jacksonville. And a thing to know here, Andy, is all 4 defensive back starters for this Kings defense all have 2 or more interceptions.
Yeah, big there, and something for JQ to have to stay on top of. Tight end flex here, 2 in the backfield, 4-3 look out of the Kings. Q stands in the pocket, throws underneath. That out route is good for Ford to Corey Jones, and it sets up 3rd and 6.
It seems to me, Andy, like the game plan for Tulsa is if they can't get something going on first down, they run an out route play to the left or the right, back-to-back. Second downs have went to Gabriel Manning. This time, JQ finds Corey Jones on the outside, picks up 4 this time around.
Sets up 3rd and 6. Split backs here for Q. Pressure coming, unloads. It's tipped and incomplete. Jacksonville makes the play on the defensive side to get off the field. Deflected there by Greg Gaines, who's been all over the field so far.
I don't think Q is leading his receivers enough. We saw an underthrown ball on first down, and now we see a throw right behind his receiver, and it gets deflected away by Greg Gaines. And, well, they're going to be in field goal range, but it's going to be a tough kick for JT Delaney, though he is 7 for 7 on the season.
Delaney takes the field for a 40-yard field goal attempt. First season here in Tulsa, played with London beforehand. Kick is blocked by Jacksonville, and it's picked up by Tulsa. They will lose yardage. They'll spot the forward progress at the 30, but the Kings say no way.
I am sorry, JT Delaney. That's the commentator's curse for you. Say you're perfect 7 for 7, and then the Kings special teams gets home and blocks your first miss of the season, and now Jacksonville takes over from their own 30.
Kings back out on offense after a huge special teams play. Gives them the football back, tied at 0. Flip out. Willis will pick up 4. Let's get you through the Tulsa defense before they get off the field again. Chris Andrews and Berto Demora are the defensive ends. Jaden Swift, the defensive tackle. Miles Gibson, Carson Miller, and Philadelphia Collins are the linebackers. Nate Heslip, Julian Valier, Cameron Shaw are the cornerbacks. Jorge Torres, Daniel Wright, and Ricky Thornton are the safeties in the white, teal, and red. Shotgun look here for Dunhill. Sidecar right is Jared Willis. They will play action to Willis. Late blitz coming. Gets rid of it, and it's caught for a first down there. Kingston Ellington.
That is what a championship quarterback will do you. He has a ring under his belt. He's able to just stay calm with the cornerback blitz and find the rookie Ellington on the second-year receiver Ellington on the outside and picks up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 41. This Jacksonville team trying to put the first points on the board as they drive down. 3 receivers split out here for Marcus Dunhill, who will give to Jared Willis up the middle, picks up 2. This run game not a factor early, although for Jacksonville.
And that's part of their game plan, Andy, is Jared Willis is more featured in as more of a pass-catching back. He's 7th in the league in terms of receptions, but he does have 4 rushing touchdowns, which means when they get closer to that goal line, he's just there to go ahead and punch it in for 6.
Both of these teams trying to make it to 3 and 4. A win today would go a long way in the playoff conversation. Dunhill, short drop, quick throw, caught across the middle. That is Shea Carroll who makes the grab, coming over from San Diego.
He just cut underneath the safety with a nice little post route, and that's just great route running. Cuts under the strong safety of Ricky Thornton and Jorge Torres playing free safety there on the left side, but just a great overall design, good call from the offense.
Carroll, the second best receiver on this Jacksonville team, 27 grabs to his name coming into today's game. Grabbed his first one there. Here is Dunhill going to flip it out to Willis out of the backfield in that receiving role that you talked about, Tyler. He picks up 6.
And something we saw on the first swing pass and now the second swing pass of the drive is he's a tough runner. Once he's out there in the flat, he's not going to go down easy. It took 2 defenders to bring him down that time as he picks up a good chunk of yards, 6 yards to be exact, down to the 34.
To 2nd and 4 from the 34. 4 down linemen for Tulsa. Flip out to number 2-4, and he is open and has the room right into Tulsa territory down to the 25. They are looking to strike. Tyler, this is a beautiful drive from Jacksonville, well orchestrated.
Well orchestrated indeed, Andy. Just continue to march down the field, not trying to take too many shots. We did see a nice pass to Shea Carroll over the middle about midway through this drive, but right now working on its 7th play and already have marched down the field for a total of about 44 yards.
Now gun straight here for Dunhill. All slants going to throw. Caught. That is Willis across the middle down to the 10. The Willis of Grayson variety.
2 Willis brothers both making plays here on this drive as Grayson gets involved this time around. Nice little pattern over the middle. They caught the defense trying to play more so on their back foot, and they make him pay for another first down.
That will set him up 3 wide in the red zone from the 10-yard line. Now Dunhill, the veteran, going to change some play calling at the line. Wants to try and get in the end zone on this play. Dunhill fires back of the end zone, picked off. Tulsa there to make the play. Check that. It's Jorge Torres who makes the grab, his 2nd of the game.
Andy, I'm going to call it and say I saw that coming from a mile away. The defense, the coverage was just playing in the end zone. They were backed off 10 yards, just playing at their own goal line, just waiting for Dunhill to throw that into the end zone. And credit the free safety, Jorge Torres, with the interception.
When you said it at the top of the game, Tyler, that Dunhill has corrected some of those interception errors, but now he's starting to swing back into the old ways. Flip down the field. That is caught by Manning down to the 43-yard line. Big play for Tulsa to flip the field.
And that's a nice confidence boost for JQ, able to find someone on first down to get positive yardage. And why not go to your hot man? Why not go to your number 1 wide receiver, Gabriel Manning, for a nice big chunk play? 23 yards down the field.
Yeah, they pay him the big bucks for a reason, and they strike down the field, and they need him to keep this game moving down the field. Now they'll go 4 wide with a shotgun look for JQ. Dime look here out of Jacksonville. They'll split out. Pressure coming. Q hit as he threw, lofts it, and it's incomplete.
And I'm still surprised this game is 0-0. Both teams marched down into the red zone and both threw interceptions in the end zone. So I think both quarterbacks need to take a step back and start making safer throws because right now both defenses are eating them alive.
Now they'll go with a tight end flex. 4-3 look here out of Jacksonville. Here is looking to throw from Q across the middle. Laces one wide open to the tight end, France.
Ooh, Jason France makes a nice play, and that one nearly got deflected, but Q threw it right into a very tight window, and the second-year tight end makes the nice grab, spinning around and finally getting taken down around that 40-yard line. And it's a good-looking drive so far. Two big chunk plays have him on the opposite side of the 50.
Two backs in the backfield, France on the field again. They'll give Robinson another carry, and Robinson cut down after picking up just two. Norwood there on the tackle.
And just got to keep making these chunk plays for Sonzo Robinson. You got to go back to this well. The passing game has been hit or miss. So far, it's been working pretty well on this drive, but now we got to see a little bit more Sonzo Robinson here getting close to the red zone.
Two receivers top of the screen. Here looking to throw. Flips down bottom of the screen. Tipped up and incomplete. Nice coverage there on the outside.
They tried to go back to Jason France again, but Connor Darien says, not today, sir, as he's been in a couple of these deflections as he read the out route for France perfectly and gets his hands up there to force the incomplete pass.
Darien used to play in Atlanta as well with Dunhill, and now making his way over to Jacksonville. Now 3rd and 8 for Tulsa, trying to keep this drive alive. They've had one field goal block today, so you'd think they would not take a chance here this far out of range. Need a couple yards. Bump coming out of Jacksonville. Here is the throw on the outside, caught, and it's going to be short of the line to gain. Corey Jones gets him up to the 29, though, which might just be in range to take a field goal attempt.
Just maybe. You have to remember that the special teams for Jacksonville did get home to block JT Delaney last time they were in this area, but it's been a pretty solid kicker all year. We'll see if he can hopefully get this one off.
Delaney lines up again. He's had one blocked if you're just tuning in with us here with about a minute and a half to go in the first. A little bit of a high snap. Delaney gets this one off. It is up, and it is good from 45. Tulsa jumps out in front. 3-0, Tyler. Finally a score.
Finally a score, and the line holds fast and protects the kicker long enough for him to get the laces out, for him to knock home 3 points. First score of the game, and hopefully we got some more to come.
And it all comes off the Jorge Torres interception in the end zone that halted the Jacksonville drive. They take that ball 7 plays, 52 yards, and turn it into 3. Now they will kick it back to Jacksonville's offense. Kick is away and returnable here out from the goal line, out across the 20, across the 25, still on his feet, and spins out to the 28-yard line. And that is where Jacksonville's offense averaging 25 points per game, 11th best in the SFL, 4th best in terms of passing yards, though, Tyler, and that's where they've made their money, finding the end zone 14 times via the air coming into today.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what Jacksonville comes out to respond to the first 3 points of the ball game, and can Dunhill amend for his mistake throwing interception in the end zone.
2 picks today for Marcus Dunhill. Looks to fire again, finds the tight end Wall across the middle of the field to the 40.
Another catch from Jack Wall, picks up another first down for this offense, and it's a good start to the drive. Start off with, converting first down on the first play of the drive and start the momentum, start rolling that ball down the field.
Tight ends out on the field, 2 of them. Single back is Jared Willis. They've only given him the ball on the ground once, 3 times via the air. And they will throw again. Dunhill dumps across the middle, deflected, incomplete. Their run-pass ratio, Tyler, heavily in favor of the run so far.
Heavily in favor of the run, indeed. And it's just good heads-up awareness from Miles Gibson, the rookie out of Memphis, who just gets his hand up in the passing lane to knock that one away, and that will maybe hinder this offense just a little bit, and we'll We'll see what they come out with here on second down. I'd like to see a run off of the right tackle.
3 receivers split wide, 1 back offset to the left. They'll flip it out to Willis in the flat, and he picks up 4 to make it more manageable on third down.
There's Gibson again involved on back-to-back plays. This time has to go out into the flat to cover the speedy and dangerous pass-catching receiver Jared Willis to hold him short for minimal gain. And it's another third down here, Andy. It's a very similar sight, 3rd and 6 again for the Kings.
Nickel look here out of Tulsa. Shotgun for Marcus Dunhill. Dunhill looking to throw. Dunhill, backside floater to Jack Wall is money, and it's a first down to the 40.
Find a hole in the zone is what all quarterbacks are taught from day one. And that right there was just a pretty play. They find a gaping hole on that right side of the zone coverage, and there's Jack Wall again with another nice reception.
Backside toss is good, and that will set them up there. But not before the end of the first quarter. 11 minutes down, it's 3-0. Tulsa on top of Jacksonville. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We will stick right here for the second quarter of SFL action. Andy Hamilton along with Tyler Falk coming to you live from Jacksonville, Florida. The sun is beating. It is a hot one, and it is Tulsa on top. Dunhill fires outside, caught 5 yards, and I think that's going to be a late hit.
Carson Miller, his first season in Tulsa from San Diego. That's an unexcused penalty. He was already out of bounds, and you come from behind, and it's almost like a chop block right to his backside, and that's just a free 15 yards for the Kings.
15 yards indeed, and the Kings will take that any day of the week. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. You can also see a comprehensive history of the SFL, our over 1,500 games, and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. Visit the Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong, and we are in week 7, the turning point as we round out into the second half of our 17th season. 10:57 to go here in the second, and Dunhill going to take a deep shot to the end zone for 6 points. The strike is made, and the Kings out in front. Kingston Ellington.
That's Kingston Ellington's first touchdown in a Jacksonville Kings jersey, and that puts Jacksonville right back on top, and that's something we saw earlier in the drive. First, it was a corner route to the tight end Jack Wall. Now we see a corner route to Kingston Ellington, and that one goes for 6.
Ellington with a huge grab, the young player making his impact here on this Jacksonville Kings squad, and they go up 6-3 on top of Tulsa with an extra point pending. Norman in, and if we've learned anything today, Tyler, no kick is a gimme, but this one is up and good. 7-3, Jacksonville on top of Tulsa. A really good drive from the Kings.
Absolute 7 plays, 71-yard drive, culminating with that 20-yard pass to Kingston Ellington. And it was a little bit of, it was pretty pass-heavy, I would say. Only one, miscommunication by the defense after that passing play. So, in fact, it was all passing plays on that drive. But it was a very nice and calm, conservative drive by the Kings.
Kick is away, returned off this near side from Manning, and that will set them up first and 10 at the 31. JQ today, 6 of 14 so far. Not having the best day. Shan Varner and Declan O'Rourke on the stats truck for us. Appreciate them keeping us honest. And Tyler, you'd like to see a little bit more out of Q.
Out of Q. And you got to credit the Jacksonville Kings defense. They currently, 7 of his 8 pass incompletions for JQ have been deflections by this defense.
Yeah. Good note. Q looking to throw it again. This time a safe throw out to Robinson, and Robinson cut down. Might have been a face mask there. We'll have to check what Ref 62 and the rest of the team in stripes has to say.
Face mask.
That is going to be a face mask, and it will give some free yardage there to Tulsa.
And the leading interception grabber of the Jacksonville Kings probably they're not gonna give. I thought it was gonna be Connor Darien who got his hand maybe a little bit too high up, but they're actually gonna tag Mike Peterson, one of the linebackers for the Kings. It just looked a little weird. I didn't quite see it, but R62 did.
Yeah, it looks like his hand got caught up there. Might have been an incidental, but either way, have to throw the flag for the safety of the players, and it will set Tulsa up with a first down. Shotgun look, 2 receivers wide, 4-3 look out of the Jacksonville defense. Here is Q, going to float it across the middle. Wide open receiver, found a soft spot in the zone. Good down to the 31, that's Corey Jones.
That's a pretty pass from JQ, just over the coverage and right into the breadbasket of Corey Jones. It's another veteran that this Tulsa offense has, and again, he's going to find an open receiver. That was a pretty well-designed play. Nice little post route, cutting inside underneath the coverage, and it's another first down. Make that their 4th of the ball game.
Shotgun look, 2 receivers split out against a 4-3 here from Jacksonville. They've walked a safety up near the box as well. Few looking to throw, will fire on the out route that is caught, and Manning will pick up 4.
That route's been pretty open for the most part for the Desperados. A nice little out route. That's Gabriel Manning's 3rd catch on an out route alone, and it's usually going to pick up 4 or 5 yards, and another 4-yarder down to the Jacksonville 26.
Manning's 4th catch of the day, as you can see there, right around 35, 36 yards. Longest was a 23-yarder down the field. Shotgun, 2 receivers again for QQ. Pressure in his face, fires out to Robinson. Robinson keep the feet he can, turns upfield and has the first down into the red zone.
Don't see too many quarterbacks make throws on the run, but JQ finds Sansa Robinson, and Sansa Robinson just turns upfield, bulldozes a couple of defenders, and just gets the first down. That's good old-school football right there.
And that will set them up right here at the 20-yard line, knocking on the door, as Tulsa will try and put the ball into scoring range. Robinson right up the middle is not going to get very far. Yakov Zolotov is there to make the play.
And they're trying to get Robinson involved. And the up-the-gut runs haven't been working, as Zolotov just fills in that A-gap nicely and shuts Robinson down.
Two receivers, top of the screen. Here is the throw. They'll flip it out on a little bit of a tight end swing. It is caught, and it's going to be good for 5 yards.
Brandon Wheel just ran right out to the flat, and Hughes saw that he was pretty open there on that near side of the field and gets it to him for a nice, safe completion. Now you need another little out route maybe to pick up the first down.
Here is Q, going to look to toss it across the middle and puts it right on a rope to Corey Jones in coverage.
That's a big pass because they were 0-4 on third downs coming into the drive. That's their first third down conversion. What a big time pass by Q to get him just knocking on the door of the goal line.
Right into the Lions' den, if you will, as there were tons of Jacksonville Kings around. Now the question, can Tulsa cap this drive off with a touchdown? 2 in the backfield on 1st and goal. Robinson to this near side, they'll give it to him. And Robinson all the way to the 1, no further than that.
That's a good run, though. The offensive line created just enough for him to sneak through. But again, it's Zolotov who gets reacquainted with Sansa Robinson to stop him before he gets in.
2nd down, goal to go from the 1. Robinson and McMichaels both in the backfield. 4-3 look out at Jacksonville. Plenty of defensive backs. They give, and it's Stephen McMichaels for the score. Fullback touchdown.
That there is Stephen McMichaels' first touchdown for the Tulsa Desperados. Congratulations for McMichaels and for Tulsa. They're going to jump back out in front.
It's his first touchdown in his career, if I'm not mistaken.
Trying to find the stats, but I think you're right there, Andy. First touchdown of his career, too. So how about it?
How about that for Stephen McMichaels, one of the members of the league that is always very vocal, attends lots of games, and we love hearing and seeing stuff from him, and certainly excited for him. If that is his first touchdown, we'll do the research and we will report back. But it is a big score for Tulsa as it puts them out in front now.
Back-to-back drives for both teams have resulted in points here, Andy, and we've got a little bit of a game going on as it was a pretty slow first quarter. Now things are turning up.
Yeah, these two teams starting to answer. It was all defense to start, and it has slowly turned into a huge scoring game as both teams have come alive. And we are corrected a little bit. It is not Stephen McMichael's first touchdown. He does have a receiving touchdown from when he played in Houston, but it is his first rushing touchdown right up the gut for 6, and now McMichaels has one via the air and one via the ground. So congrats to Stephen. First and 10 from the 24-yard line. Jacksonville takes back over. They go to Willis, and he is lost in the backfield. He will go down -1. It's Philadelphia Collins.
That's a good play from the rookie, getting into the backfield, reading the play nicely, and just getting to Willis in the backfield for a loss of 1. And I'd love to see more of that pressure. Maybe send the blitz on a passing play or two.
4 down linemen here for Tulsa. They will shift the linebackers here to this near side. 2 tight ends top of the screen. They will pitch it to Willis, and Willis crushed in the backfield, going nowhere. Berto Demora shuts that one down.
That's his 4th tackle for loss of this season as Berto Demora. Again, they try to run outside both times in the past 2 plays, and it has not gone the Kings' way. Can they get the Jacksonville Kings offense off the field? So far, they're 50%, 1 of 2 on 3rd down.
Shotgun snap, Dunhill fires near side, and that is incomplete. I didn't even see the receiver in the frame. Cameron Shaw makes the deflection.
That's a terrible underthrow as Shaw makes the nice little play. He's got 2 interceptions, was looking for number 3 on the season, and it's a quick 3 and out. Good job by the Desperados. They'll get their offense back on the field and a chance to extend the lead.
And Howard McCoy will come on to punt this one away for the 2nd time. And Tulsa, who just took the lead on a run up the gut and a beautiful drive, their defense comes out. They shut down Jacksonville, and they're going to get the football back here for their offense. Coming out, they will set up for the return. Manning is going to field this one at the 45 and will get tackled immediately. He called, I don't know if you saw Tyler in the chat, he called that he was going to return one for a score today.
Well, he hasn't been able to do one yet, and it was a great coverage by Alonzo Williams, the 3rd-string corner, to go ahead and stop him in his tracks and put in. He just said no to that notion of, you're not getting one this time around.
6 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. 2 in the backfield. Twins here for this Tulsa offense. Short drop, quick throw out to Robinson, and Jacksonville all over that one.
They try to get him involved in the passing game. They're trying to get Robinson involved, but this defense has been pretty well on point to just stop the halfback from getting anything going.
2nd and 10 from the Tulsa 47-yard line. They will spread 4 receivers wide, and Robinson will stand sidecar left to the quarterback, JQ. Looking to throw some slants. That one is caught. DJ Hume picks up the 1st down just barely, and oh no, he is down.
He paid for that 1st down. That's unfortunate for DJ Hume, and hopefully we can see him return back to this football game, but that was a little bit of a dangerous pass for any wide receiver. That's almost like a suicide pass because you're going right into the heart of that linebacking core, and well, he gets hit from behind instead of getting hit from right in front of him. So hopefully it's something minor, not something major.
We will keep you up to date with that injury as we find out more, but for now, Tulsa will have to try and fight on without one of their star receiving threats. Only his first catch of the game. Wasn't very involved today so far. Flip out here, Robinson, and Robinson will pick up a yard.
He barely had to fight his way for that 1 yard there, Andy, and it's just another pass of the same for Sanzo Robinson. He's got 4 catches today. He's only averaging around 2.8 today, so it's not been working so far to get Sanzo Robinson involved in the passing attack.
2nd and 9, 5 minutes to go and ticking here in the second. That throw caught. Jason France backs down the defense and has a first down. He caught that like a rebound there, Tyler.
I was going to say, he looked like a number 5 in basketball, backing down 2 defenders, Andy, and the big tight end makes the sure-handed catch.
Second grab of the day for Jason France. And he will set them up at the 33. Q in the shotgun again, throwing for the 25th time today. Flips it out to Robinson, and Robinson, popped on the sideline.
Ouch, Ben. Succo Lamano with a huge hit. I'm surprised Robinson was quick to his feet, but that's right around his average, about 2 yards before a member of this Kings defense comes up and lays the lumber to him.
Shotgun look 3 wide. These are the formations you have to remember that Hugh might not be on the field for. Hugh fires a hitch route that is caught by Corey Jones, picks up 2.
Now you're going to have to get 5 or more yards here on this 3rd down play. You haven't been able to do too much there in the short passes. Now they're forced to go long here. Are in field goal range, so don't have to force too much with the second quarter winding down.
Gabriel Manning working out of the slot, and it's Q who's going to throw. Moves in the pocket, but he won't throw. He'll be buried in the backfield for Jacksonville. Coming up to make the sack is Mike All, and he got all of JQ there.
He just came like a bulldozer and brought down JQ like a sack of potatoes. And if I was JQ, I know the play is going to that right side, but behind him was a wide open Stephen McMichaels, wide open the flat on the near side.
Will force them back to the 34 for a long field goal attempt for JT Delaney. He is certainly getting the workout today, the full course of action for Delaney as they try and extend this lead out to 6. Snap down, hold down, kick up from Delaney, and it is doinked off the upright. No good, a second miss for Delaney today.
Wow, he was perfect coming into today, Andy, and only had 1 miss on his career before today. Now has 1 blocked and just doesn't have enough leg as it doinks off of the crossbar.
Man, and all to think after you, Tyler, said that he was perfect on the broadcast.
I might have like a curse charm or something in my voice or whatnot, but it's just not going well for me in kickers.
4-3 look here out of Tulsa as Jacksonville takes over. That throw a little bit out of the arm's reach of the diving attempt made, and DJ Hume is done for the day.
Done for the day is right. Torn MCL, but thanks to the magic of the doctors here at the SFL, he'll be back next week, but that's a huge blow for this Tulsa Desperados offense that takes a very big weapon out of the picture.
3 receivers wide here for Jacksonville. Single back in the backfield is Jared Willis. Nickel look here, and Dunhill going to fire underneath, caught Ellington. That is good for a couple. It'll be 3rd and 4 to the 46.
And it's Julian Valier with his first tackle that I've seen him make today, but a good closing speed. Get onto the speedy receiver, Kingston Ellington. Now it's 3rd down for the Kings. They were unable to convert on 3rd down on the previous drive. Now they got to convert here. Only 33%. They're 1 of 3 today.
They need 4 or more. Here is Dunhill, fires across the middle, and Wall has more than 4. He's got a first down. Jack Wall on that slant route has been one of their better and more consistent plays today, Tyler.
When in doubt, hashtag throw it to the tight end. That's his 5th grab on 7 targets. He's crossed the 50-yard threshold, and he wriggles out of a tackle attempt by Cameron Shaw to pick up a couple more yardage on the run after catch.
moves the chains and sets them up for first down, and we will get to that following the 2-minute warning. Tulsa on top of Jacksonville, 10-7. The Desperados lead, but Jacksonville knocking on the door. It's the SFL presented by APM Music. First down, 10 to go. Andy Hamilton along with Tyler Falk. Shan Varner and Declan O'Rourke running the stats truck for us. Two receivers wide here, 1st and 10. Whole playbook open. They'll flip it out to Willis, and Willis cut down after picking up 7.
The very few times I've seen Jared Willis get hit hard today, as he's pretty much had his way with getting a few extra yards. That time was sat on his butt. The nice little tackle.
2nd and 3 from the 34-yard line. Here is the throw. Dunhill, deep bomb, deflected away. They don't often take deep shots like that, Tyler, but that one was not going to be happening as Jorge Torres was in coverage, and they've already tested him a couple times today.
And he's got 1 pick to his credit today, and that's just great coverage by the second-year man, as he's just able to just shadow the intended target and just knock it away. That's great coverage. That's great defense. You coach that wherever you run a defense.
He's actually got both picks today, Tyler. He has been the man that is Marcus Dunhill's kryptonite, is Jorge Torres, and so can't test him too many more times. Dunhill fires wide open. Jack Wall, he is open, and he is the man today, moving the sticks down to the 19.
Especially on 3rd down on this drive here, Andy. That's 2 third down conversions for the Kings, both going the way of Jack Wall passing plays.
Now in the red zone with a minute to go. They are going to fire this one out underneath, and that is caught by Grayson Willis, Hurry up offense, going to keep this clock moving. Now they'll flip it out. Grayson Willis again, 1st down and out of bounds at the 9-yard line with 46 seconds to go. 1st and goal.
Stops the clock. They go right back to the same play they ran the play earlier, and it's right back to Grayson Willis. 2 nice catches. 1st down, and they're inside the 10 and looking to punch it in and retake the lead.
1st and goal. Trying to strike. They have both tight ends out on the field, both Talon Steele and Jack Wall. 4-3 look here out of Tulsa, looking to throw it. They fire underneath. It is caught and down to the 2, and Jacksonville takes their first timeout. It's Wall again.
I didn't like how the linebacker shifted to the outside like they were going for a blitz. They left that wide open area in the middle of the field, enough for a very tall 6'7" tight end to slot in and catch the pass.
Both tight ends here in Jacksonville, 6'7", the rookie, Talon Steele and Jack Wall. Both of them on the top side of the line against the 4-3 here. 2 yards to go. Dunhill looking to sling it. Cryer's back in the end zone, out of bounds. Incomplete, was looking for Willis.
That's a close play. Grayson Willis, to me, looked like he had maybe just a foot inside, but I'm not down there on the field making those tough calls, and I'd be half obliged to throw a challenge flag, though it looked very close. I think the refs got the right call there.
Would be the difference between potentially 3 and 6 points, depending on what happens here on 3rd down. Dunhill to the window, to the wall. 6 points for Jacksonville.
Love the call, Andy, as Jack Wall was featured heavily on big 3rd down plays. It's a 3rd straight 3rd down play that they will find Jack Wall for a big-time reception. This time it equals 6 points. What?
Hold on. They're going to check that one, or they should. Tulsa, well, they can't throw a challenge. We're under 2 minutes. The ref should look at that one. It came out of his hands.
Wow. Under 2 minutes. We've seen a couple of calls today here in the SFL that haven't been reviewed by the booth. I thought they reviewed all scoring plays.
Wow, Booth taking the day off, and Jacksonville, the beneficiary, they will go 14-10 on top.
Little bit of controversy here in Jacksonville as the hometown team maybe gets a favorable call. Maybe they're trying to make up for the Grayson Willis reception in the back of the end zone. But if I'm Tulsa, I'm shaking my head a little bit. But they do have 3 timeouts and plenty of time to march down the field if they so choose to.
Well, if Gabriel Manning ever had a time to return one with 36 seconds, now might be the time. Short kick, return out to the right side. Manning spins once and out to the 34.
You know, his prediction of him maybe busting one out for a big return for a touchdown is he's just 1 or 2 tackles away from getting down to the end zone. But it's a great tackle by the hands team of Jacksonville. And now here comes Tulsa's offense. They've got about 66 yards to go and 32 seconds and all 3 timeouts.
3 timeouts for JQ. Will take the shotgun snap. Going to take a deep shot to start this one off, and it's incomplete. Manning ran right into the safety there on the backside who clobbered him. Greg Gaines again.
Oh my goodness. In his first season since season 15, that's incredible. An incredible play by the free safety coming across and just barely getting his hand on the ball.
2nd and 10. 28 seconds to go. 2 backs in the backfield. 4-3 look. Jacksonville walking a lot of guys up to the line of scrimmage.
Only 1 deep safety.
It will go Robinson. Robinson breaks through that first wave, picks up 9, and now they'll go hurry it.
That's his longest rush of the day at 9 yards, and I think they're just going to run out the clock.
Do have the timeouts to burn if they want to get out of this formation. Now they'll look to throw. Flip it outside. McMichaels drops it.
Q was hit as he threw by Taquan Hale, and he tried to find the fullback, Stephen McMichaels, there in the flat this time around, but just threw it a little bit too far behind him as the hit had something to do with that. 4th and 1, 10 seconds to go. Now, I'd be half obliged to go for it in this situation, but they'll just punt it away and just go into the halftime down by 4.
Ismailia Farouk is on to send this one away with 9 seconds left and ticking. Kick is off. Jacksonville does have 2 timeouts. They'll call for the fair catch and have 4 seconds to basically run one play.
Well, if there's anything to go by in past SFL history, a couple of these run plays to end out the half and just maybe take the remaining time off the clock have broken big. Will we see a big scamper from Jared Willis? We're about to find out.
2 tight ends offset to the left side of the line. 4-3 look here out of the Tulsa Desperados. They will pitch it to Willis, and Willis cut down in the backfield, and that will take us to the halftime break. Carson Miller makes the play to end the half.
He had over 50 tackles coming in today. He picks up another one here, and he's one of the team leaders in his made tackles. But a good first half of football here, Andy. Tight ball game, 14-10. As Dunhill has thrown 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. He's 72% on throwing the ball today, and he's got a good, decent amount of yards, 190 yards going into the break. He looks pretty solid out there.
Time of possession leans to Tulsa there, but they find themselves down 14-10. Tyler, it was really kind of back and forth. Both teams had their moment to shine.
Absolutely, and I think it goes credit back to the defense, especially early on in this football game. The secondary of Jacksonville was able to get their hands up where Tulsa's secondary, and big credit to Jorge Toros picking up both interceptions of Marcus Dunhill today, and especially one deep in their own end zone. And it's just been a tight ball game. Nothing really to separate these 2 teams. Just those 2 touchdown passes and a nice little run in for Stephen McMichael's first rushing touchdown of his career. You can see here on screen. But it's the defenses that have really been the story of the day here, Andy.
Very much so, and you can argue that the 2 JT Delaney misses, the block, and then the doinker off the upright. If those both would have gone in, it would be 16-14, Tulsa on top of Jacksonville, but they find themselves down by 4.
One thing real quick before we go back here to the half is both teams are near the top 10, or at the top 10, I should say, in 3rd down conversions. Right now, Tulsa only has 1 3rd down conversion on the day. They had 7 attempts. Jacksonville 4-6 at 66%.
We are back here in Jacksonville. Kings will start with the football to get this thing going. Kick is away, and the return for Ellington will come off the goal line. Ellington outruns the blocker a little bit and gets out to the 26. That is where Dunhill will come back out. We talked a little bit about it, Tyler, but the two blemishes today, the one being in the red zone, really the pain point.
Yeah, if you're looking, Jacksonville, by all means, could be up right now by 28 to 10 right now. And in Tulsa, you could say the same thing. One block kick, one missed kick from JT Delaney. They could be up in front of this game 16-14, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
From the 26, Dunhill will start the drive off with a throw to the top of the screen, and that is caught for 6.
A few times we've called Shea Carroll's name today here, Andy. Only his second grab on the day, a little over 20 yards through the air today, and picks up a nice chunk of yards, 4 yards, and that'll get this offense off to a nice start on the drive.
Yeah, all you want to do on that opening play is pick up some positive yards, and 6 will do just that. Brings up 2nd and 4. They've ran it out of this formation. They've thrown it to the tight end as well. They will pitch it out to Willis. Willis with some room on this one, and he will pick up 3.
It's a little bit more yards received by that little toss play. Third time they've called it, and this time he gets positive yards. And right now, Jared Willis is sitting, at negative rushing yards, only at -1 for the day, as the passing attack seems to be taking hold of this offensive play.
And 5 carries. They will throw it this time. That one was trying to go out to Willis, and it was deflected away, and that will end the drive. Philadelphia Collins stuffs the Kings.
He was playing tight on the line in his zone coverage and read that one perfectly, knocking it away from Grayson Williams, trying to find that out route. And it sets up a 4th and down, quick 3 and out for the Tulsa Desperados defense, and it's a good job by them.
4th and 1, and they will have to punt it away. This will be the 3rd punt for Jacksonville today, and Tulsa's defense gets off the field to open this second half of play, giving their offense the football back. Kick is away, returned here out to the 34-yard line by Manning, and that is where we'll see JQ completed 64% of his passes in the first half for around 130 yards.
He did have a couple of passes that were a little bit more wayward, but no interceptions and also no touchdowns to show for the sophomore quarterback, as we look to see what he can do. Again, this big story for this Tulsa offense is Hume is out of the game.
Yeah, we'll not be seeing DJ Hume the rest of the day, so only 2 receivers to go with. This one, flip outside, and that is caught by the backup who is replacing Hume.
That's one of the first times we will call Radrick Davis's name. I believe that's his second catch of the day, and picks up a good chunk of yards, 3 yards to the Tulsa 37. Now sets up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and they will be relying on Davis, Tyler, to kind of fill some of the void in terms of that third receiver who might get open.
See if they go back to him here as they go shotgun.
3 wide here. Here's Q firing off his back foot, threw it into coverage, was trying to find France, but it was almost picked.
Looked like he was a little bit of unsure of himself in the pocket, tried to make something happen, but those deep passes on the move off your back foot are very ill-advised, and he's lucky to not have that one going the other way.
Greg Gaines was there to make the play again, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7. They will spread 4 receivers wide, 4 down linemen, and a single linebacker and a dime look. AQ for the 31st time will toss it. Deep ball, picked off, erased and intercepted by Connor Darien with a host down the sideline. Darien will take this one the distance. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Oh, one ill-advised pass leads to another there, Andy, and they tried to get the receiver involved, and it's going to bite him in the backside as Connor Darien had a very nice leaping grab, and then the defense turned to offense and just created a caravan and just leading the train down the field for Darien to get in the end zone And that'll just be an exclamation point on what has been an excellent performance for this Jacksonville Kings defense so far today.
Sonzo Robinson almost tracked him down there at the goal line, but it wasn't enough, and the Jacksonville Kings with a pick six put themselves out in front by even more. An extra point here would make it 21-10. And Tyler, for everything that JQ has done today, the one thing that we could say about him at the halftime break was he didn't have any interceptions. He didn't have any touchdowns, but no picks. There he throws one, and it immediately converts into points for Jacksonville.
And it came off the back of that ill-advised on-the-run back foot pass we saw Greg Gaines knock down. And he was trying to do too much with the football, I think, and it just equals more points for the Kings. Now he'll get another chance here on this ensuing kickoff.
Kick away here. Manning will sit to return it. Short kick out across the 30 already. Manning out to the 34. Good field position here for Tulsa.
Both quarterbacks right now here, Andy, have thrown the ball 31 times. Both passing attacks have been the story of the day. The rushing attacks and the rushing game plan has pretty much been thrown out the window, as we'll probably see JQ at least reach 50-plus attempts on the day.
11-point differential, still a two-score game only. Three receivers split out. Robinson to the left. Here is Q going to fire, tipped up, and picked off immediately again! Intercepted once more, this time by Greg Gaines.
Wow, he didn't get the one earlier, and this time he does off the tip drill, and it's just compounding blow on compounding blow. Back-to-back passes for JQ have resulted in interceptions, and Jacksonville's in the driver's seat.
The Kings looking to ice this one away, up by 11, and what a turn from the 14-10 score we had at the halftime break. The third quarter all belongs to the boys and girls in purple and gold. Shotgun look here for Marcus Dunhill. 32nd throw of his day, and it won't go anywhere. A sack coming in to the backfield. It's big number 74 who makes the play.
Sir McHenry said, just heard me probably say that Jacksonville is in the driver's seat. He goes into that driver's seat, pulls out Marcus Dunhill, and throws him to the turf.
Run straight look versus bump out of Tulsa. Opportunity for someone to get open. Now Dunhill will throw, floats across the top of the field, caught. Jack Wall, first down!
That is an insane catch. It almost looked like the pass was going to go off the helmet of the defender, but Jack Wall on the all slants pattern just hauls this one in. Look at that, just right behind Cameron Shaw's back, pulls it in, tucks it in, and for better measure, gets the first down yardage. Great play.
What a play by the tight end who's having potentially a career day. 9 receptions, just hovering around that 100-yard mark in the score. Dunhill will give to Willis. Willis shut down right in the backfield immediately. Tulsa really good against the run today. Carson Miller, another tackle.
Really good tackle from Carson Miller, and they stacked 8 in the box to counter what looked to be, what smelled like, what was a running play, as Tulsa's defense not too bad on the ground game as far as defense goes, sitting at 14th in the league, averaging 93 yards a game. Right now, holding Willis to minimal yards today.
Dunhill, 4-step drop, fires outside, caught 2 receivers in the area, and the first catch today for Talon Steele.
That's the rookie, like you said earlier there, Andy. Both tight ends stand at 6'7", and they're just big targets out there for the veteran quarterback Marcus Dunhill to throw to, and they both are making good, solid catches and not dropping anything so far today.
4-3 look here out of the Desperados. Single back is, Jared Willis. 2 receivers out. They'll flip it to Willis off the left side. Willis will only get a yard, if that, and that'll bring up 4th down. Tracked down from behind by Jaden Swift, the defensive tackle, showing some hustle.
There you go, Jaden Swift. That's, like you said, I love what you said there, Andy. Great hustle. Jared Willis today, -2 yards on the ground on, -1 yards on the ground on 7 attempts. not the day he was looking for on the ground.
Kicker is on. This is Derek Norman. First attempt of the game for him outside of extra points. Kick up from Norman, and it is good from 41 yards. He adds it, and it's 24-10 now, a full 14-point lead.
And 10 of those points there, Andy, have come off of JQ interceptions on back-to-back drives. One the pick six. This one ends in a field goal. And Jacksonville has that 14-point lead. And now they just need one more defensive stop, I think. And they will probably have a very nice chance of coming out of here with their third straight victory.
Well, and you can argue that that is a win for the Tulsa defense to hold Jacksonville to 3 on the short field. Keeps it at a 2-score game, keeping their offense in this one, Tyler.
Absolutely. Now it's up to JQ. He's thrown back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back drives. Has DJ Majesty calmed him down enough, got his mind right, got him focused on the task at hand to lead a drive of the Desperados down the field and not into the hands of the Kings.
Offensive coordinator Berto Demora and owner and head coach Dion Hawkins will line him up for 1st and 10 from the 31. Fires across the middle. That's a completion to Corey Jones out to the 46. And there is a little bit of what you were talking about, Tyler, getting this thing going.
And it's a good, solid start. Not finding the purple and gold, but finds the teal and red for a nice little grab. And that's Corey Jones making a nice reception. One of the 2 starting wide receivers that this team has. And again, with Hume out, it's a big blow for this offense. But if you can find Corey Jones and Gabriel Manning more often than not, they'll be in a pretty good spot to make a comeback.
Looking to throw it again. They will fire out underneath, caught by Robinson. Robinson lowers the shoulder and has the first down to the 44.
Connor Darian just gets plastered to the turf as Robinson would not be denied the first down. Good, solid run from him after the catch.
They're moving now, and they would need points on this drive if they want to feel really good about their opportunity. Two receivers top of the screen, 2 tight ends here. They'll flip it outside to Robinson. Robinson threw 1 and will pick up 3 to keep this drive moving a little bit. As long as they're going forward on first down, hey, that's a positive, right, Tyler?
Absolutely, and the pass from Q just barely got over the head of Taquan Hale, the defensive end, trying to get into that passing lane of that screenplay, but credit Q just put enough touch on that ball to get it to the receiver, and it just keeps on marching.
2nd and 7 from the 41. They will pull a guard and run it off left side to Robinson. Robinson cuts back inside to the 37. They need 4 for this first down.
Robinson's 6 carry, 32 yards for the halfback today. Not having, a typical day, a little bit below average right now. It sets them up for a nice 3rd and short. Always good to keep moving the ball forward. Now they have to convert on first down. They haven't done that so far so well today.
They will throw outside, caught right at the sticks, out of bounds. They'll mark him a yard short. They say the ball on the near side for Gabriel Manning.
That's an iffy spot. If I'm Tulsa, I am taking a hearty look at that play. There's been a couple of close plays near the first down marker that could be either or. And Tulsa, I think, is doing the right thing and coming back out on offense, trying to convert on 4th.
2 receivers split out in a shotgun look here. 4th and 1. They will snap it. Here is Q, going to float it across the middle. Caught! Complete across the middle. They needed a single yard, and they said, forget that. We're going down the field. Jason France hauls it in.
Jason France down the far side of the seam. And Grant Gage was just more playing, back off coverage, not allowing them to get into the end zone, but it allows Tulsa to convert on 4th down.
4 receivers split out. Robinson in the backfield on a pivotal Tulsa drive. Firing end zone, tipped up and incomplete, in and out of the hands of I believe that is Stephen McMichaels, the fullback.
Oh, he had a chance to get his second touchdown on the day, and oh, I I guess that's why he's at fullback. They don't make too many grabs here in the SFL, and
Well, he did play tight end last year, Tyler. So you have to imagine his hands are okay.
you have to imagine you're right there. But I think maybe just a little bit more coaching up in the blocking might have something to do with that.
Through that, 2 in the backfield. Here is the look to throw. Q going to flip it out to McMichaels, and he, unfortunately for Tulsa, makes that catch, losing 2 yards.
Well, he assures his coaches and team that he can make a catch, but at that point, I think you just gotta take the L and drop that ball instead of calling it in, because that puts your team 1 yard back, and now they're at the 10, looking to punch it in.
Now, unfortunate sequence here for Stephen McMichaels. They're still in this game, though. 3rd and goal. They need to get in the end zone here. Here is the floater back of the end zone, incomplete. Lucky for them that it wasn't picked off. Was looking for Manning, and they'll be able to get 3 out of this if they can get Delaney to put the boot to the foot.
JQ must be breathing a huge sigh of relief as that one mercifully goes in and out of the hands of Bernard Gooden. And JT Delaney, he's been the story for this Tulsa Desperado special teams. 1 for 3 today with a blocked kick and a missed 50-yarder. This one should be more of a gimme for him.
So be about a 26-yard field goal attempt. Snap down, kick up and on the way, and he got it from 26. Now 13-24, a closer ball game now for sure, 11 points.
And they're gonna continue to chip into this lead here, Andy, and they're gonna need a little bit more than just field goals here if they want to get back into this football game. But just over 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, you still got time to run your offense, and still got plenty of time to get back in this game.
Kick is away. Return here will come off of the 3-yard line. Ellingston will bring it out and will get out to the 24. And Marcus Dunhill will lead his team back out. They had a lengthy break as that Tulsa drive went 10 plays, 59 yards, tied for the 2nd longest drive of the game.
And before that, they marched down the field themselves and tacked home a field goal after a JQ interception. Let's see what they can do here. This time starting back in their own territory, comparing to when last time they started on the opposite side of the 50.
Tulsa shifting around on the defensive side. They'll flip it out to Willis out of the backfield. Willis spins back inside, picks up 5 on 1st down.
That's what you got to do if you're the Tulsa Desperados defense. You got to contain Jared Willis out of the backfield in those flats and stop him for minimal yardage. Keep doing that, you'll get your offense back on the field to mount a comeback.
3-3 look out of Tulsa. They're going to play some bump man. You could watch the slot receiver. Instead, they'll hand it off, though, and Willis right up the middle will get out to the 31. 3rd and 3. Big play for Tulsa here if you could get off the field.
Especially if they can get off the field. And that's Jared Willis moving back into the positive numbers of rushing yards. Just 1 positive rushing yard today. But again, that's this rushing attack finally maybe starting to see a little bit more life. 3rd and short.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Dunhill, very short drop, fires across the middle. Oh, a flag comes in.
Are they going to take Miles Gibson with the pass interference on Talon Steele?
I don't know about that one. I thought it looked like a little bit of a ticky-tacky call. The throw was out of reach of both of them almost. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that looked really iffy to me. There's been a couple of questionable calls here today, and I think that it's more Miles Gibson going for the football rather than him trying to hold up Talon Steele and coming over the top. And that just gives Jacksonville a free 1st down.
Kings will accept it, and they will move out to the 40-yard line. Tulsa fans not happy about that one. Jacksonville fans here at the Kings Lair will take anything they can get. Gun straight here for Dunhill, looking to throw. Fires on the corner route, bottom of the screen, caught. Willis down to the 32-yard line, and just like that, Jacksonville flips the momentum off the penalty.
And immediately, like you said there, Andy, they're going to go straight down the field to Grayson Willis on a nice little corner route. as he'll just turn upfield, grab a couple extra yards before being tackled, and Jacksonville have flipped the field down into Tulsa territory.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter of action. 4-3 look out of Tulsa. They'll fire underneath. That is caught. Turning upfield. Talon Steele breaks one and moves forward to pick up the first down.
What a hit from Talon Steele onto one of those quarterbacks as Jorge Torres couldn't come up with the tackle. He just gets sent to the shadow realm. Excuse me, that was Nate Heslip who couldn't make the tackle. Oh my goodness.
And a new set of downs here as the tight ends for Jacksonville showing out. Jack Wall having a good day. Talon Steele now starting to get in on the action. 4-3 look out of the Tulsa Desperados on the defensive side. They need to come up with a stop. Flip out here, Willis off this right side. Willis with room, and he gets 6. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. And you can also get SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Dunhill fires across the middle. Jack Wall again. Spins inside down to the 3. Jacksonville right on the doorstep again.
Take a look there, Andy, about just comparing just the wide receivers to the tight ends of the Kings. Tight ends are about 20 yards more. They have about 20 yards more than the wide receivers combined. So these tight ends are really showing up in a big way for the Kings. Now they're knocking on the door again.
They will give Willis up the middle and in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
And what do we talk about at the beginning of the game? That Jared Willis is more involved in the passing attack, but given the chance near the goal line, they're going to create a big hole for him to run through. And the Kings are starting to march away with this one with a big 17-point lead.
Yeah, 2-2-4 teams coming in, and we talked about, Tyler, how whichever team could really cement themselves in front would be kind of a bigger threat come the playoff conversation, and Jacksonville has started to pull away.
And it's a little bit of that momentum factor, right? They're coming off the back of 2 wins and now trying to make it 3, and they're showing up in a huge way for their hometown fans here in Jacksonville as they'll look to see this one out. Just under a minute here in the third quarter, and a full quarter left to play.
Tulsa will obviously not call it quits. They will keep fighting in this one, and we're excited to see what they may do with that. Manning, here's a nice return out to the 36, and he will set the offense up with good field position to start with.
Now the Desperados need another solid drive like the one they had last time out. March down the field 10 plays, 59 yards for a field goal. With Jacksonville scoring a touchdown, however, now things get a little bit more tense there on that Tulsa sideline. Need to punch it in for 6 here on this drive.
Yeah, 3-score game. Got to get back into it. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends out on the field for the Tulsa Desperados. Robinson in the backfield. Short drop from Q. They'll dump it out to Robinson. Robinson going the wrong way. Tries to fight through defenders and will lose 4.
That's a little bit of a broken play, I think. I think Robinson thought he would have a little bit more protection, maybe on a screen pass, but instead the Kings swarmed him in the backfield and took him down for that loss.
Four receivers wide here, single back in the backfield, dime look out of Jacksonville. Fires outside, diving attempt was almost picked off. Oh, that would have been something.
Oh, what a good play from Bernard Gooden. Had a nice deflection in the back of the end zone on the final play of the last drive. Has a big deflection here on this drive.
That will end the third quarter of play. 31-13, a 3-score lead for the Jacksonville Kings. Out in front and on top and in control of this one. 3rd and 14 for Tulsa. JQ 61% completion percentage today. The 2 picks. Gonna need something big here, but has to be careful. Robinson off to his right, looking to throw, fires deep down the right side, and it's picked off again. Intercepted back down the sideline by Bernard Gooden, and he will bring it all the way back to the Tulsa 28.
And he's coming off the back of having that big deflection in the 3rd quarter and starts off with the 4th with a big-time interception, JQ's 3rd. And the Jacksonville Kings are just trying to put this game out of reach for Tulsa. With that interception putting them in excellent field position, they just have to go down, march down the field, tack on a few points, and that might just be that here in this ballgame.
Huge play there for Jacksonville as they have the control of this one, and they are going to try and put this one away. Still 10:52, lots of time on the clock, and they will feed Willis for the first time, and I have a feeling, Tyler, we'll hear a lot out of him today.
I probably have a heavy dose of Willis throughout the final moments of this football game, as I think they're just going to try and play a little bit more sportsmanlike. Just try and milk as much clock off as they can. Maybe tack home a field goal here or there, but right now it's Jacksonville all the way from here on out.
They look to run it again. Willis off this left side picks up another couple. And Tyler, tell me what this would mean for Jacksonville, to win a 3rd straight as we inch closer and closer, slowly but surely, towards the playoffs.
Andy, this would be huge for Jacksonville. They lost a lot of teammates in the offseason, especially Christian Christensen, their former QB. A win here would just cement that the new players coming in to replace the old vets have been working out, have been developing over the course of the season. It would be an incredible win for Jacksonville.
Deep shot, picked off. Dunhill throws an interception, and this one returned all the way up, and it is picked off for the 3rd time by Jorge Torres, a shining light for this Desperado team.
And that's a nice little hat trick for the Desperados defensive back, as he's not ready to give this ball game up just yet. They might be down by a couple touchdowns, but never say die attitude for the Desperados, and he gives the football back to his offense.
3 picks today for both Dunhill and JQ. The only difference is Dunhill has got 2 touchdowns to go with it, and JQ has had some trouble getting his team into the end zone. 4 wide here, and he will look to throw the out route, caught out of bounds by Gabriel Manning. They'll mark him incomplete.
Just a little bit too far from JQ, I think, there, and that might come back to bite him, though it doesn't take too much time off the clock, though. We're going to get a challenge from Tulsa.
And Tulsa going to take a look at that. I think that's a good challenge, Tyler. I will say, I was about to call him in bounds, so, hey, that's worth something, right?
Yeah, let's take a look here under the hood with R62, as, let's see. I don't think we're going to get quite a good angle.
Terrible angle. Oh, 1. Oh, yeah, he got a foot.
I think he got, more than a foot. I think he got 2 feet there.
Well, if this one is marked out of bounds, I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. Okay, there we go. Turned over for Tulsa, and Ref 62 makes a call in the favor of Tulsa for once today, Tyler.
Yeah. Finally, says the Tulsa faithful, as they finally get something go their way. And now, with the clock stopped around 9 minutes, 40 seconds, nice little pass on 1st down. Maybe this is the start of something.
Chance to continue this drive. 3 receivers split out for Hughes, split back in the backfield. They'll give it to Robinson on a running play, and Robinson has close to a 1st down, be a couple inches short. And we would not be being fair to JQ in this Tulsa offense without mentioning that DJ Hume did go down early in the game with an MCL injury, so they are operating with just 2 receivers and a tight end instead of all 3.
Unfortunately for them, it's next man up mentality, and they have to go to a couple formations that they wouldn't call as often because of Hume's absence. We'll see if they can knock it over here 3rd and inches.
If Robinson, right side, has it and more. Robinson threw 1, and he will get out to the 36-yard line, and he's doing a little dance there on the sideline, and he deserves it. He hasn't been that bad on the ground today, Tyler.
No, not been too bad, and for a hard power football running halfback that Robinson is, he shoulders one man, picks up a couple more yards before being taken down, and that's what you like to see if you're a Tulsa Desperados fan. Now need to string a couple more of these plays together to march down the field, and I think they need to up the tempo just a little bit with margin that it is.
You ever ran through a man on a football field, Tyler?
I was pretty much the only one getting ran through if I ever stepped on the football field. Then again, I was also in the marching band. I got hit by a tuba once or twice, and that was not fun.
There you go. Yeah, I was the same. I never got to run through anyone being, 5'10 and 120 pounds soaking wet. So, hey, I'm sure it's a great feeling, but I never have experienced that. I'm sure plenty of people in the chat have. Or maybe not. You never know. We all might just be a group of a community of members who have never ran anyone over. Flip around, and Corey Jones will pick up 6 more.
Nice catch by Corey Jones. Gets him close to the third down. And something that also hasn't gone the way of the Desperados is these third down conversions. Only sitting at 25% today. 3 of 12 on third down. They're going to need to convert all their third downs if they want to stick around in this football game.
2 receivers, top of the formation. 4-3 look here out of Jacksonville. Single back is Robinson. They will give it to him right up the gut. And Robinson dances through the hole a little bit and won't get the yardage needed. Jacksonville coming up to make the play.
That's just this rush defense showing up and filling up that A gap rather nicely. They're top 10 in rushing defense. Overall yards averaged against them in the SFL. Big fourth down. They're 1 of 1 so far today, are the Desperados.
Need to move the ball here out to the 46 in order to pick up the first down. Offense still on the field. Will they snap it, though? Now down to 9 and 8. They're trying to draw Jacksonville off sides, but the Kings don't look in any interest of jumping off sides, and Tulsa takes a timeout.
They have to go punt it away, but meanwhile going on SFL Twitch, that's a big score line there in the top left of your screen. The Skyhawks trying to shock SFL Nation and take out the Queen City Corsairs, who for the first time in a long time have a very solid winning record. They're undefeated there, Andy, but Carolina, all credit to them. I was talking with Torilla. We were talking with Torilla, I should say, in the game before the game in Denver, Baltimore, and Torilla wasn't, too high on his team, coming through, but the Skyhawks have other ideas.
Well, anytime you play an undefeated team, it is very difficult to feel very excited or positive about the opportunity in front of you to knock them off, short of maybe you having 1 or 2 losses or it being the playoffs. But Carolina so far getting the job done, doing what they need to do. And for us here, Jacksonville is trying to get to 3 and 4 and keep themselves alive. You never know which teams through the start of the season will be good and through the second half of the season fall off. Sometimes all it takes is 1 loss to knock a team back and have them change too much and potentially fall out of the playoff race. Jacksonville trying to get themselves in it after starting out with a very rough 0-4 start. Tyler, sometimes all it takes is a couple wins in a row and you're off and running and you're one of the more dangerous teams in the league.
Exactly, and this is their 3rd straight home game. This is their final game of this homestand. They got a tough schedule upcoming here, Andy. They got to go to Mexico City and take on the Aztecs, and then they got Baltimore right after that. So it's not an easy schedule for Jacksonville.
Here's Dunhill, going to float underneath, tipped up, batted around, and almost picked off again. Dangerous pass.
John on coverage, and we saw one earlier today, Andy, where one of those tip balls was picked off by the same man, and Cameron Shaw wanted to be the same guy to do that here in Jacksonville, but luckily for Dunhill and company, it flutters to the turf, and another third down upcoming for this Jacksonville offense. They have fared much better compared to Tulsa today. They've converted about 50% of the time, 5 of 10 today on third down.
And out of Shea Carroll's hands. And it brings up 3rd and 5 at their own 27. Jacksonville needs to make it out to the 32-yard line to move the chains. 4-2 look here out of Tulsa. They will run it, and Willis will not get the first down, so the Desperados lock it down and get the football back for the offense.
Good hustle there from Nate Heslop coming up to make the play from the corner spot and forces a quick 3 and out for the Jacksonville Kings. And now the Desperados, after punting it away last time, they got under 6 minutes now left to go. They've got three timeouts, excuse me. But it's gonna be a little bit of a trek to try and get back in this football game.
Manning on the return, spins once, and will get out to the 41-yard line. 5:47 to go. JQ in this offense will come back out. Carolina adding more points there, Tyler.
Oh my goodness. Do we have our first big upset of the week as Carolina is trying to take down Queen City and trying to put a crooked number in that loss column? That would be the story of the week for sure.
Sure, plenty of people who are watching or hopefully watching both games. We want to thank anyone who's tuned into this one for sticking with us. Here is JQ going to fire underneath. Caught Gabriel Manning. Good for 6 yards there out to the 48-yard line.
Like, they've been more so going to this underneath route as of late here in this second half compared to the out routes they're running in the first half. And it's picking up about the same amount of yards that they were. And it's just been nice, calm passing from Q after throwing those interceptions.
Sometimes that's what you need to keep a drive moving and get down the field. 3 receivers wide. Q going to fire up the middle, and that is incomplete. They were looking for McMichaels on the fullback run out of the backfield. John Martin, haven't called his name a lot, but he got a hand to it.
John Martin and Alonzo Williams there on coverage. It looked like they were playing the same exact zone, and we're both reading the play nicely. And big third down for Tulsa. They weren't able to convert on third down last time out. They're going to need to convert one here. The clock has stopped, but it's just getting tighter and tighter.
Spread look here for Tulsa on third down. Here is Q, moves in the pocket, throws on the run, tipped up and incomplete. Not going to make it to the receiver there, and they'll bring up fourth down, and you punt or go for this, Tyler. I think you should go.
I agree with you wholeheartedly there, Andy. You are on your side of the 50, but you are right near midfield, and at this point, you have to go for it, or you're pretty much just punting away the football game.
Punting indeed. They will send out Ismail Farouk to kick this one away again with just over 5 minutes to go, and the punt is away. The one saving grace they've had, Tyler, is Jacksonville seems to still be throwing the football.
I'm kind of shocked from their play calling in that aspect. I mean, now with 5 minutes to go and with Tulsa haven't been able to be, productive, now you can probably start running the football a little bit more here on the ground, but the running game hasn't been, a factor in this football game. They tried running it last time out. First 2 plays were run plays, and they were stopped up for minimal gains. We'll see if that changes here on this set of downs.
Yeah, Jared Willis, 13 attempts for 15 yards and 1 score. They'll give it to him again, his 14th carry, and this one pays dividends as Willis into the open field. Willis trucks his way down to the 40. Forget everything we just said. Best run of the day for Jared Willis.
Oh my goodness, that was a very nice run. He just would not be denied. Had to break, I think that's at least 3 tackles he shimmied his way out of.
Yeah, I'll give him 3. That was big.
Very nice run from Willis, and, well, throw that tidbit out the window that the run game hasn't been working there, Andy. It's starting to pick up a little bit of heat and catch fire.
A huge run for Willis there. We'll set them up 1st and 10 here at the 40-yard line. Under 4.5 to play as they are taking some time off the clock, and rightfully so, Jacksonville. They'll flip it out to Willis off this left side. Willis falls forward for 2.
That's been a 50-50 play for Jacksonville, that toss play. And unfortunately for Jacksonville, it's not gone the way they wanted to it more times than not. That might be one of the plays they take a look at going into next week when they play Mexico City, because you all know Mexico City's defense is rather tough on the run.
Now under 4 minutes to go here. 2nd and 8 from the 42. Dunhill will be under center, and so far today has had a wishy-washy game. Some points he's looked really good. Some points has struggled a little bit. And they'll feed Willis again off this left side with room. Jared Willis, 1 man to beat, and wrapped up at the 39.
And I really do love what Alden Bleeker, the rookie from Memphis, did. He came around and threw the offensive line and made a very nice block on Nate Heslip to spring Jared Willis free. They need more of that. That's a great play from the rookie.
Lots of offensive linemen here in Jacksonville, and that block there was the difference between a 6-yard run and a 12-yard run. So a good run there from Willis and good blocking from the offensive line puts them onto the Desperados' 39-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go here, right as we hit the 3-minute mark. Two tight ends on the field, and they will look to run it again. Willis right up the middle, off tackle, and he will pick up a couple.
Just continuing to melt that clock away. Now under 3 minutes. I'm surprised Tulsa hasn't used any of their timeouts, but Jacksonville, where has this run offense been in a crucial time for Tulsa's defense? The Kings have been running ruckshaw here on the ground.
It was all pass, Tyler, through the first, half of the game, 3 quarters, and now in the fourth, Jared Willis is starting to really get going.
More straight running play of the drive.
Single back is Willis. They will toss it out to him, this time on a throw off this left side. Willis spins back in bounds. Veteran move there to keep this clock moving.
Like you said, love the veteran move there. Moved it back inside, keeps it moving, and we'll hit the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes to play here in Duval County. 31-13, Jacksonville and the hometown Kings on top of the visiting Tulsa Desperados. Andy Hamilton along with Tyler Falk, Shan Varner along with Declan O'Rourke on the stats for us today. Appreciate everyone viewing and tuning in. Flip out to the backup, and that is going to go down in the backfield, and Tulsa will burn a timeout.
And indeed, it is their second timeout they will use, and they'll stop the clock at 1:57. On comes the kicker, Derek Norman, to try and make a 49-yard attempt, maybe? No, they're going to send out the punter, Howard McCoy, maybe a little bit too far out of Norman's range.
Hunter is on. Well, and Tyler, don't necessarily need to attempt the long field goal either with the scoreline the way that it is. In theory, you could punt it back and feel pretty confident in what your defense has done today.
Very true, Andy.
Kick angled to this bottom side. This one will bounce at the 10, bounce at the 5, and they are going to corner coffin them in at the 4-yard line. Beautiful punt.
And if your punter does that, Andy, I think
Yeah.
I would just trot him out just like that. That's an excellent chip shot down in the quarter, and Tulsa has to go the length of the football field to even have a sniff at coming back in this game. Minute 48. Miracles can happen. It'll be a long shot for them to come back in this game.
There was a look at Sanzo Robinson's number on 48 to go, and they will look to throw. Pressure in his face. Q just got rid of that one. Hunter Norwood was sniffing a safety there.
Ooh, he came awfully close to hitting Q into the end zone, but Q barely gets it off. And if I'm the Desperados offensive line, I gotta, maybe splash some water in my face, because you can't let your quarterback take a sack in the end zone. If you're gonna pass it here, Andy, I wouldn't even go under center in this scenario. I'd do a quick pass and I'd go in the shotgun.
5-step drop. Q fires outside, caught. Corey Jones spins up and picks up 9. Now they'll go hurry it. 4 receivers wide. Single back is Robinson. They will flip it out, and that is caught on the outside again. Corey Jones once more out to the 25.
Keep moving those chains. Back first downs.
1st and 10. Here's Q. 5-step drop once more. Fires across the middle. Caught Gabriel Manning. 7 yards. Pick up there.
Receivers look tired, Andy. They're slowing down.
I'm tired too. 4-2 look here out of Jacksonville. Q fires underneath, and that is incomplete to McMichaels. Wanted a flag, didn't get it.
Now a much-needed rest for both offense and defense as the clock finally stops with 1:01 left to go. And that was a good series of plays for Tulsa, but you need a little more yardage, I think, if you want to march down the field quickly. There's too much time being taken off the clock with these short passing plays.
3rd and 3. 61 seconds left in the football game here in Week 7. Q going to adjust the play at the line for his receivers and look to throw it. Fires to a wide open Jason France, who breaks a tackle and is sandwiched on the sidelines at the 44.
Rulman inbounds because he began the tackle inbounds. The clock continues to run.
3 receivers wide. Q looks to throw, fires underneath, caught. Manning out of bounds after picking up 9.
The clock started with 1:01 left to go. Now it's sitting at 39 seconds. That's way too much time being taken off the clock on these short passing plays. And I think the time is just a little bit too short for Tulsa, as Jacksonville, I think, is for sure going to move to 3 and 4 at this point. Tulsa, now your season's on life support, going to 2 and 5.
Tulsa will have an uphill battle at 2 and 5 to try and keep themselves in the playoff conversation. Robinson down the sideline shows off a little bit of life, down to the Jacksonville 30 now.
Big update from Queen City. They retake the lead there midway through that 4th quarter.
24-23, Queen City on top of Carolina as Robinson runs down to the 18. Just 42 seconds left in that ball game, Tyler, and to try and see if Queen City can remain undefeated. But before that, we will celebrate as Jacksonville moves to 3 and 4, but not before Tulsa takes a timeout at the 4-yard line.
Oh, they're just playing for pride here at this point. They use their final timeout. They're going to try and make the scoreline a little bit more respectable than it is, but it has to be said, the Kings have played a very solid game today. Both quarterbacks, though, had a few hiccups, both throwing for 3 interceptions, but it was Marcus Dunhill who had 2 touchdowns compared to Q's none, and that was one of the factors that led the Kings to this victory.
1st and goal from the 2. Tulsa going to try and get themselves some points for pride here. Here is JQ looking to throw it, fires underneath, and it is incomplete. Couldn't hit Corey Jones, and that will be the final. 31-13. Jacksonville gets the home victory over Tulsa. Tyler, it was back and forth, but that 3rd quarter, Jacksonville managed to pull away.
They managed to pull away on points off of turnovers. The first big mistake from JQ was that pick 6 to Connor Darien. He threw him a 2nd pick and threw Greg Gaines another pick. And all 3 times there, Andy, they were set up in excellent field position. They got 10 points off of those turnovers, and that was a major difference for the Kings today. Marcus Dunhill, 30 of 41 today. Right around 290 passing yards, those 3 interceptions, but it was the big tight end, Jack Wall, that was the story of the day for the receiving corps. Over 100 yards on a career day for the tight end. He's picked up a touchdown as well. And so it's a good all-around day for Jacksonville. For Tulsa, the big highlights of the day were Stephen McMichaels picking up his first rushing touchdown at the fullback spot for Tulsa. And for Tulsa, an unfortunate series of events that DJ Hume exit the game with an injury, and JT Delaney's perfect season, it goes out the window with a block kick and a missed 50-yard field.
And for Jacksonville, they will improve to 3 and 4. Tulsa falls to 2 and 5. Couple interceptions for both quarterbacks. Everyone will have something to build off on heading into Week 8. Still plenty of season left, Tyler, but for both these teams, it is do or die mode as Jacksonville obviously sees teams ahead of them in the standings start climbing and collecting wins. And for Tulsa, one more loss is definitely not going to help you as these 2 teams try and get back into it. So for everyone here, Tyler, if you had to take a guess, who's your player of the game?
You know, defensive players don't get enough love for player of the game, but I want to give Connor Darien the game ball today. He had that pick 6, which really helped just pick up the momentum from halftime in what was a very close game at 14-10 or 10-14, and just really shot them forward into this victory.
And it is going to be Marcus Dunhill who gets the player of the game, 292 yards, 2 scores, had a couple picks, but helped lead the way for Jacksonville. Well, for everyone here on the production, for Tyler Falk, Shan Varner, Declan O'Rourke, Cameron Irvine, I'm Andy Hamilton. We want to thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in Week 8.